Good afternoon. This is Pastor Karoku from Overflowing Church. Can you guess where I am standing right now? This is Saddleback Church, Lake Forest campus patio. This is the Connection Center. And I can tell you, 7 years ago, I was really starting to serve in ministry here at Saddleback Church as an intern and a year later, small groups pastor. And this is the area that I was really learning and understanding how it is important for people to build relationships with other people, relationships with God, so that they can enjoy and they can find their purpose in their lives. And this brings me like good memories of how God trained me and invited me to this church and equipped me for today, so that I can share the vision with you all. So learning to serve in ministry is fun. I can tell you that. But also I can tell you that like serving in ministry with you is better. For 2 weeks, I was attending Biola or Tabo School of Theology for my doctoral ministry in growing and multiplying churches in North America, and it's been fun. Like 12 people, 12 pastors were got together. This is our second year, and three professors actually were with us to go through this learning process. Each and every one of us read at least 4,000 pages of books and materials, and to talk about how churches are growing, how churches must grow, and how we can, or what we can do to help declining churches and vitalize them to reach out to more people for Christ. It is not an option, it is a must, because Jesus commissioned us to make more disciples. And it is fun, it is great to learn to ministry, learn to serve other people. But we cannot just stop there. We cannot just stop at thinking how it is wonderful to minister to people and serve people and get closer to God. We actually need to be that person, and we need to be a doer of God's purpose in us. So as I am thinking about how much God has been blessing me and my family through this church, and especially through this like patio serving opportunities, I was also thinking about our journey. Overflowing Church began to share the vision in January, how much we want to be the church that overflows God's blessings to the community, how much we want to be the church that reduces the gap between church and community, and also how much we want to be the church that become the church for the people who don't have church. So again, we cannot just stop at thinking and dreaming about the church, but then we actually need to be that church. Yesterday, I was visiting a new coffee shop in a city near here called Rancho Mission Viejo. So Mission Viejo, Rancho Mission Viejo, and San Clemente, and those areas are some of the areas that I am becoming to love more, and also becoming passionate about reaching out to. So in the morning, I was just thinking I'll just go to one of the coffee shops and just sit there and just work on my papers and things like that. But as soon as I got to their coffee shop and I got my coffee and I sat down, I saw a couple walking in and I said hello. And they hello back to me, and they were looking for a chair to sit, and they actually decided to sit right in front of me. And I said like, hey, how are you? And dot dot dot, right? And it actually became 30 minutes of conversations, as if we were at the meeting, and we actually said like, hey, I'll see you at that coffee shop at 9:30. It wasn't that, but then coffee shop has that influence of getting people, bring them in and getting them closer to each other. And that is one of the reasons why I am loving using coffee shop as a platform for our church. Anyway, as we were talking about the culture and children and community, and I was so moved that this is where God is working in us, and that is what God is actually wanting our church to do, not just to be separated from the community, but then actually to go closer to the community and be a blessing to them, and get to know them first and build a bridge so that Jesus can walk across. This building relationships part is so crucial when it comes to sharing the gospel with people. It takes time to deliver the truth, and not just the time, but we need to actually build the trust. And we need to do that. We need to be intentional about loving and about giving. And that is one of the things that I so love about our community, Overflowing Church, because there are so many stories that I am hearing from you that you are actually being and doing as a Christ follower to your neighbors and your friends. One example, to attend 2 weeks of Dr. Mishi residency, I needed to look for a car because at the moment, my wife and I are sharing one car for the family, and there's no way I can actually offer a second car to commute to school. So I was just praying, I was just like wondering like how I can actually make it to school for 2 weeks. And and I just posted something on my Facebook. Hey, does anyone have a car I can actually borrow for 2 weeks? And without really having that expectation of someone replying back to me and say, hey, here you go. But then that's what happened. Within almost an hour, I thank you, Carrie and Jeanette, for allowing me to use your car. And they made me able to just go to school and learn about how to grow the church and all that. But then you did more than just made me learning more materials. You actually made me realize how much I and our church wants to be that church, to be the church for the people who don't have church, without just saying like, hey, now I'm praying for you, but then you actually were like, okay, here's a key and use it. Pastor Rick from Saddleback Church says something like this: you can love without give. No, you cannot. He says you can give without love, but then you cannot love without giving. You can love without giving, but you cannot love. No, you can give without love, but then you cannot love without giving. That's what God did. He loved us so much. He loved you and I so much. So what did he do? He gave his son, his one and only son, so that we can have eternal life, right? So we cannot just say, I love you, and stop there. We need to give. That means we need to give our time. We need to give our attention. We need to give our passion and energy, not just to say like, okay, this is the amount of time that I will spend on you. Well, if I really love you, then I will give you more than just what I say I want to give you. I will just give you what God has given me, and I will just overflow that blessing to you. That's the whole meaning and concept of overflowing God's blessings. We need to first filled with the blessings of God so that we can overflow his blessings to the community. So let us be that. Let us be the church, you and I, that overflows God's blessings to other people who may not know Jesus Christ. Let us be not just dreamers, but then let us be bridge builders so that Jesus can walk across, right? Oh, I almost forgot. During the summer, we are planning on doing or participating community events. We want to just go there in the community events, and if they allow us to serve coffee drinks with a cup that has the Bible verses on them, and it could be the first Bible to some people, and we will have opportunities to get to know them and get to build relationships with them. And as they are waiting for their coffee drinks or finishing their coffee drinks, we will connect with them, and we will just get to know them and build relationships. And who knows, God will allow us to have the opportunities to share the gospel with them. I also want to say thank you to everybody who gave to Overflowing Church, and God's blessings are overflowing through you so that we can be the church that overflow God's blessings to the community. And as a thank you, I wanted to actually show this to you. So this is the like, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is the coaster that we made with our name, Overflowing Church, and it has the Bible verses on them. And I want to give this to you as a thank you to anyone who gave to Overflowing Church. If God gives you a heart to give, then why wait? Visit overflowing church dot no overflowing church. Okay, today I'm like experiencing some trouble. I'm just back from school, and like I still need more sleep, I guess. So please visit overflowing.church/generosity, overflowing.church/generosity, and it could be $5 or 50 or 500, 5,000, I don't know. So when God gives you the heart to give, please give. It is not, I'm not asking your money, but then I'm asking you to be a blessing to Overflowing Church so that we can be a blessing to the community, and we will use all the opportunities to share the gospel with people. And also lastly, I want to pray for you. Let me know if you have any prayer requests, and I want to be the person to pray for you, for your family, for your work, and for your school and everything. So my email address is Karo, Karo, at overflowing.church. Karo at overflowing.church. Let me know when there's anything I can do for you, anything I can pray for you. Blessings. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.